The Court of Appeal has commenced a new legal year and justice retreat for her members. However, ahead of 2023 general election, National Judiciary Council has been advised to sanction any judge who misused the bench. Also, that NBA, Nigerian Bar Association, to deal with any lawyer who seek a frivolous order.
In regards to the circumstances we are operating, I would say that the bench has not fared badly at all, because I'm sure without the intervention of the bench once in a while, things probably would have gone very, very bad. At least for now, we know that there is still some element of rule of law. There is also the judiciary that people can resort to, and it brings about some hope that when you are deprived, when you are denied, you have access to the judicial process. It may take time, but at least you know there's somewhere to go to and get some remedy. So I think the bench has not fared badly at all. They have not. They have done very well, having regards to the challenges of the situation at hand.
Some of the issues that were raised about phone shopping,
that definitely is very, very condemnable. It's very, very condemnable, and I've always spoken against our colleagues who engage in that. You cannot do that. It undermines the whole process. It brings the system to ridicule, and it's unhealthy. So lawyers and judges who encourage that, I believe, should be sanctioned, and that will be a lesson to others who are likely to follow. If we are not very careful, it will become the trend as we march toward 2023. That courts in various corners of the country will be given all manner of orders, even where they have no jurisdiction, even where the parties are not relevant to their local situation, they keep giving out orders. So forum shopping is a very dangerous one, and this is the right time to nip it in the bud. The lawyers involved must be sanctioned, the judges involved must be sanctioned. I'm Ari Lawal Rabanai saying, thank you.
Well, I should begin by congratulating the Court of Appeal. This is the first time since the creation of this court that the court is marking the beginning of the legal year with a ceremony like this. And it's usually an opportunity for the court to take stock of what the court had done in the previous year in order to prepare the court also in launching into the activity set ahead of it in the beginning of the new year, the new legal year. And the business of the court is the dispensation of justice. I mean, everything that the court has said, I mean, that the President of the Court of Appeal spoke about, is really about the dispensation of justice and how that process can be aided, how that process can be made more efficient. And if you can hear even about the salaries of the justices of the Court of Appeal, for many of them that have been on the bench of that court, ever since they got in there, they've been on the same salary for 10 years, some of them 15 years, or even more. Vehicles that are meant to help them in moving from one point to the other as they go about performing their constitutional duties. Those vehicles have been broken down. You can imagine a justice of the Court of Appeal that is moving from one division of the court to another division of the court across the country using an official car for 9 years. For 9 years. How do you expect such a person to be in the right frame of mind to continue to do justice? But they've made a lot of sacrifices. They have done lots of things against that hurts them, but you never hear them talk. They will never complain. This is only the opportunity that the court has had for the Court of Appeal since its inception to come and speak about what it has done. And you can imagine that they've not even gone for their vacation. Only 3 days ago, the court in the division of the Just Division delivered about 5 judgments. What does that say? That these justices are simply about performing their constitutional responsibilities. There are no incentives for them to continue to do this job, and yet we see them perform this constitutional responsibility. And I can say this without any fear of contradiction, that the courts, and particularly the Court of Appeal, has been one of the strongest support for the polity called Nigeria. Absent what the justice system is doing in Nigeria, there probably wouldn't have been a country for us today. They've been that arm of government that has been stitching all the parts of this country, and that is why today we would continue to have this country. And we believe in this project, and so we ask that the courts be supported in terms of all the things that will help the court in being efficient in the dispensation of justice.
How do you admonish these judges? How do you, in form of advice and admonitions to the judges?
Well, for a judge that is called upon to do justice, is simply taking the place of God Almighty here on earth. So do justice, have the fear of God and do justice. And it takes two to tango, or maybe three, or even four. For instance, whenever we come to condemn or criticize judges for the decisions they take, it took a lawyer first and foremost to file that case. The lawyer is knowledgeable, he knows where to take his case to. There are different courts with different jurisdictions. They've been so delineated by the Constitution. If you have a course of action that you want to ventilate in any court, you, by your training, should know where you should go to. And the law says that whatever you bring to the judge, no matter how stupid, the judge has to determine it. That is the law. So they are under a duty. Whenever you bring, frivolous as it might be, they have a duty to determine it. So while we talk about judges, let's also talk about we lawyers who carry these matters to court because we've been paid to do these matters. And that is wrong. Our motivation for what we do, both on the bench and on the bar, shouldn't be what we get. And particularly for lawyers in practice, it shouldn't be about how much money you get from your client. Once your motivation to do the case is about what you've been paid for your client to do that case, then you have ceased to be a minister in the temple of justice. We are agents for justice. It's a person. Justice is a person, you don't see him. We are agents for him. So even though you come to pay us to do your job, we are actually serving justice. That is why our responsibility is not to win our cases at all costs. It is simply to help the process to find justice within the confines of what the law has provided. So the admonition is actually not just for the judges, it's also for we lawyers, so that we would be conscionable in the way we do our things. We should remain conscious of our identities as lawyers, who are ministers in the cause of justice, in the cause of temple of justice.
Punishment for those that will go
Absolutely, absolutely. The NJC is there, the National Judicial Council. It's a creation of the Constitution, is put there for the purpose of the supervision and discipline of judges. We also have the Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee. We have the legal practitioners. We have a rule of professional conduct for lawyers. All of these things that you see can properly come within the ambit of professional misconduct, and those cases have been punished. Those cases have been punished. I represented the president of the Nigerian Bar Association at this ceremony, Mr. Olumide Akpata. I had the honor of delivering his speech for this occasion. He couldn't come, he was unavoidably absent, and he sent his apologies. You heard me when I delivered his apologies to the court and the president of the Court of Appeal. My name is Yakubu Chonoko Mekel, and I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Bemiga Olamikon, GTV Africa.